What's going on, guys? Bachman's Garage back at you again with another video. Today I'd like to go over all of the parts that I have purchased for my Scion XB, and please excuse the mess. I have everything laid out in my dining room, but the parts go all the way over here and they're laid out the whole way across here. So I'm trying this tripod that I have, so if it's a little shaky or kind of weird motion, please leave it in the comments. I'm trying my best with this new kind of setup. I don't know anything about video editing or making videos or anything. I just kind of wing it. So without further ado, let's get into this parts list as to what I've actually purchased for my Scion XB. And there will be more parts in the future to go into this car. I'm just slowly working my way up to affording them, so that way I can actually build this car. I'm trying to do it on a budget while also doing it correctly and using quality parts. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So to start off, right here we have a Megan Racing race spec strut bar that obviously does what it's supposed to. It goes across your front strut towers to brace the front end of the car. Not much further really description into that. We have a brand new Duralast water pump. A variety of sizes of red vinyl, what the hell do they call it? Silicone, I'm sorry. Silicone vent tubing, along with HPS coolant lines and a billet fill neck for the coolant system. Factory ones made of plastic, and they're known for getting hard and brittle. So whenever you remove lines or have to do a coolant flush or anything, there's the potential of them breaking, so I got one custom made in aluminum. Moving on, we have a Clutch Max Stage 3 Performance Race Clutch. It's a 6-puck cleaning lady style clutch. It has a brand new throwout bearing, clutch alignment tool. The only thing that I have to actually get to install that clutch is, well, first off, I'm buying a lightweight flywheel to go with it, so I have to get that, but I also need a new pilot bearing. You don't necessarily need one, but I always like to install a new one whenever I'm doing that kind of thing. Coming over here, the thing you see in red and white is the E-Series, or E-Pod series gauge pod cluster from Autotech Interiors. I painted it to match the rest of my interior pieces that I have already painted. The gauge pods bolt to the 2 holes at the top of it you see, and I will be putting 52mm glow shift gauge pods in there for water temperature and oil pressure. The 2 honeycomb shaped things you see at the bottom are the factory grill inserts for the lowest grill. They have 1.5-inch LED pod lights with projector lenses. I'm hoping that'll work as like a secondary fog light, because the fog lights that I have in it aren't very bright, but they do look good, so hopefully this will add a little bit of light. We also have a Big 3 upgrade kit with marine grade battery terminals. Hopefully that's not going to be too overkill, because it's 00. If it is and it's just not looking the way I want it to look, I will downsize a little bit. But it's a common upgrade to do on smaller engine vehicles. The better the ground, sometimes you can actually pick up power. You can eliminate the fluctuation of your headlights and RPMs whenever your bass hits. If you have a subwoofer, which I do, it's not very high amps, but it is. It does fluctuate the RPMs a little bit on colder days. So hopefully better grounds and a little bit better of a positive connection will help with that. Excuse me. Moving over, we have hood struts, because my factory hood prop has a broken latch, so it just kind of sits in there loose, and I'm afraid my hood will fall. So this will eliminate that, and I don't have to worry about the hood falling, and I can prop it up at shows and stuff once I have my engine bay finished, and people can look at it, so that's always cool. We have a black Toyota license plate cover for the rear. I'm going to be getting rid of the snap-on one. My buddy wants it, so told him he can have that. That is a white and black Toyota front license plate that I splatter painted to match the interior of my car. And that'll be pretty much the only thing on the outside of the car that's splatter painted, so I feel like it'll kind of draw you into the interior of the car a little bit. And then to go with that is a black front mount license plate mount, universal type job, whatever. I got it on eBay. It's not bad. The quality's not bad, I should say. I don't know, it's a little large. I might trim it down. We have a stainless steel 4-inch square-shaped exhaust tip. I might be changing out the heart in the future because the new rear lip is a strange size, and I feel like the heart tip that I have won't be big enough. I was thinking about making a bigger heart tip, but that would cause that would come down to some custom fabrication because I can't find one in the size that I need. Moving on, we have Type R branded I can't speak today, guys. I'm sorry. Pedal covers. I don't know why that's so hard to think of. Yeah, they're just aluminum pedal covers with rubber inserts. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to mount them firmly because the clips they come with are absolute trash. I just like the way they look, and hopefully they won't interfere with anything. And then next to it, we have red aluminum fender washers with stainless steel countersunk bolts. I'm gonna take a break here and move over. Alright, starting over here on the right side, we have a red set of stainless steel braided brake lines for the rear. Next to it, we have StopTech stainless steel braided front lines in silver. You won't see them as much, so the red and silver, I don't know, it's just kind of what was available. The ones that are red are from Vivid Racing. They were on clearance, and they were the only stainless steel brake lines for the rear that I could find. And StopTech makes a bunch of brake lines for a bunch of vehicles, so if you guys are interested in any of those, definitely look up StopTech. I think you can find them on eBay. I have them for my truck. I have them for the XB now, and I think my dad has them for his Honda. I'm not sure. Next to it, we have Nolithane lower front inner rear control arm bushings. That's for the front lower control arms. Next to that, we have Energy Suspension rear trailing arm bushings. And then next to that, we have Energy Suspension front lower control arm bushings. That's a mouthful. Next to it, we have Energy Suspension engine mount bushings. And those, I was told, are not fun to install, but those are the only other neoprene bushings that were made for my car. Neoprene, polyurethane, I guess. Yeah, they're polyurethane. Same, almost the same thing, just not as stiff, I suppose. And then going on next to those, we have Moog ball joints. They are greasable and serviceable. They come with every piece you need. They're a bit more expensive than Mevotech, and they're a little less expensive than factory, but neither Mevotech or factory are greasable or serviceable. So I like that aspect, and Moog's been around for quite some years, so it seemed like a no-brainer to me. And last but not least, we have Oasis 60mm spiked lug nuts, and I believe they're half size, so they come with their own special socket. It's kind of like a security thing instead of having a lock nut that wouldn't match, or trying to manufacture four of those lug nuts in order to lock each wheel. It would just be different. So I think they're a half size, so you basically got to carry a socket to fit your socket, which is okay, or it might have a drive on it, I'm not sure. No, it's got just a 6-point on there, and it's a 6-point here, but it's like a 19.5 or something, or like an 18.5. It's a strange size. I'll give you a closer view of the actual lug nut. They are aluminum, and I was told as long as you do not over torque them or take them on and off like 50 times a week, they will last. I've never had aluminum lug nuts before. These were very high quality rated lug nuts online. You can see the end unscrews from them, so you can put them on, and then these just kind of dress it up once it's on the car. These will look awesome with my gloss black wheels. And I went with 60 millimeter, so I didn't have, like, you know, this much lug nut hanging on the outside of my wheel. It looks cool, but curbs don't like them. I promise you that. And then, of course, next to it, because I have aftermarket wheels, I needed hub-centric rings, so that way the wheels will align on the hub correctly. And above those is just the center caps that my wheels came with. So, and last but not least, of course, are my wheels and tires. These are Circuit Performance CP22 race wheels. They are 5-spoke, 4-lug. They are 4x100. They're in gloss black, and they are 16x7s. And they are wrapped in a Toyo Extenza HP2. And they are 195 50/16s. These are the closest tires to my factory diameter on my car, but I wanted a lower profile, so that's why I went with a 16 wheel instead of a 15 wheel. But I wanted a little bit wider tread contact. So I believe these are a 1/2 inch wider than my factory tires. I believe something like, it's like a 1/4 or a 1/2 inch. You want more tread contact, but with a low power car like an XB or an XA, XD, any of these smaller cars, a Toyota Yaris, the more tread you have contacting the ground, it's better, obviously, for handling. But if you have too much tread contacting the ground, it interferes with your overall power and how your car will travel. Like, you'll get worse gas mileage and stuff. It's just because there's too much resistance against the car. So any wider than this, I was afraid I was going to get too much resistance. It was going to slow me down. But this will help with my handling. And they're just overall better tires. They're stickier. They have very good rating. I have them on my Koenig Lightning wheels from my MR2. So I'm really excited to see how these look and feel on my car. And I went with just the single drilled instead of your 4x100 and I think 4x113 or whatever wheels, because I hate multiple drilled wheels. It makes it look like you didn't know what wheel to buy, in my opinion. So these are clean, they're simple, they're very attractive looking, in my opinion. I like simple design and gloss black. I don't know, they look good to me. So that's pretty much everything I got for my Scion XB, aside from a couple other little things. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Please excuse the mess, as I said. And there will be future updates as to what other parts I will be installing and or what I will be doing to my car. Thanks, guys.